like didn't even want like to create a video. Sometimes I say like, okay, I could be creating like writing books about the torture that I experienced during 11 years. Now I didn't even touch another part, which is gang stalking part, you know, like they showed you that they know everything about you. How? But they hack everything. I hack like at cell phones. I have like here like several cell phones. They're all hacked. They hack like computers. How difficult it is, but it's just very, very simple. They right now, like what I did notice is following, that hydrogen peroxide, for example, helps me a lot. Hydrogen peroxide, I noticed, just destroyed like some nanotubes. I showed nanoradio in my ears, and I did like create like a recording, and I'm not going to show now how this like a nanotube is just now like in pieces, you know. And I found here in Croatia company that is producing food grade 35% hydrogen peroxide. I said like my whole body is full of biosensors that are actually nanoradios that are flopping, and due to these nanoradios they are taking like activity of my body. I am cell by cell connected to this robot Sophia due to these nanoradios. And I created like a video. I said I wrote like last year when I heard about Cuban US diplomats in Cuba. I said I have the same flopping as they like reported about. They said like this is a flopping as if you open like the window, you're driving and open the window, and this is like this flopping. This is due to nanoradios that are in the body. And why they're flopping? Because if you go University Berkeley Settler Group, you will see 2007 when they developed this nanoradio. They had a problem with the charger, and these crystals that I have in my ear, I can like, so you see, these are these crystals, and I just recorded like several days ago. I placed it on the internet. I have all these crystals, all these structures still in my ears. These crystals, these are this crystalline structure that you can see like this black. This is like, this acts as a charger. It is in my left ear. I don't say like this is like this nano diamond. This is most like a difficult, horrible part, and I'm going to show you how they torture me now, like hitting these like crystals in my ears. It's such huge energy levels. And I created recording like with my acousticometer that goes like to 6 gigahertz, and you will see like what levels I have to endure during the night, you know, because I was placing videos about first like a US diplomats in Cuba and their problems, stating that these nanoradios, when they are flopping, I had like a tickling in my left ear because of very, very fast vibration. Imagine now you have like a body full of these nanoradios that act as a nanobots, but the whole body is going to flap. And I am going to show now like how they're torturing me with high-level frequency, how they're like sending frequencies, high-level secrets to my ears, to these nanocrystals, to torture me, to punish me, because I am talking about this. Of course that I'm going to talk about this. This is the only thing that I have like a disposal. I was writing to everyone, to senators, to Nancy Pelosi, to Jerry Brown, to Dianne Feinstein, to everyone reporting about this crime, and I saying, if you are not going to do anything, tell this and make investigation, because of US citizens who are paying you as public servants to work for them and not against them. Make investigation about this technology upload and download of thoughts. I survived because I took the knife and I scraped off this like a part here, this big neural veins. When they would hit me in the evening, they were creating every night before I was going to sleep like a brain trauma, hitting me such high level frequencies that I had like the feeling that they wanted to split my brain into 2 hemispheres, left and right. Then they would attack me with some hypnotic sleepy frequencies, all my body that was full of biosensors. It is very simple. Einstein said we are nothing but energy resonating like at the cellular level. Dr. Rauscher Elizabeth, who's also Jewish, because this is Jewish technology in Jewish hands, said following: give me just like I don't know, like 1 month and enough money, I am going to make whole city smiling like with marijuana smile. She is going to hypnotize them. Air Force has the technology. They can hypnotize the whole city. I experienced this when I was living in San Jose. I would be coming to the management office where I was living, and I didn't notice that people had difficulties to perform the simplest tasks. How they're doing this? They're having like some cold air. And with this cold wind, you will just feel suddenly like some type of the cold wind. And it is going to hypnotize you. They don't have capability to do this here in Croatia because I am not hypnotized anymore. Before coming here to United States, I would start to go to San Jose from Sacramento. There was a Dixon area. I don't know if they have something there. I would be coming to Dixon, take first exit, and lay down in my car. I wasn't able to drive. When Misha Barton, there is like a video on YouTube, when Misha Barton was driving this U-Haul, like not being able at all, like to find the way, and then crashed this car, she was probably hypnotized. People don't have any idea what capabilities government agencies and Air Force have. They can hypnotize everyone, you know. And I don't know even why I started like to talk about this hypnosis. I mean, I could talk about this. I wrote to Jerry Brown, you know, about this. I said, Jerry Brown, ask who did order upload and download of thoughts. Who would like to share thoughts with Mark Zuckerberg? And my best guess is following. It will happen as it happened with edible biochips. You had Regina Dugan, who is coming from DARPA, working for Google on edible biochips, trying to persuade people how this is something fantastic. This is not. This is horrible technology because I know as I have these all possible implants that were on military market. And these edible biochips, I had the feeling that they have even capability to put, they are also like a talking, you know, when the people can talk from the stomach. They implemented this technology on these edible biochips, and your gut feeling is not going to be your gut feeling anymore. Because they are going to hit these edible biochips and start to talk. And you will be thinking like, oh, this is me who is thinking. No, they are all taking control over your body. And I said to senators, also wrote quite common sense letter. I said, but who ordered this? Who needs like to share thoughts? And probably 2014 edible biochips were like all developed, nothing later. Why? That is the same thing that is going to be with upload and download of thoughts. They are going like just to develop this. Implant people, you go to, that's just like an operation that you're when you take anesthesia. And they're going to push you through the syringe like or put on your skull as they did to me. And suddenly, like, you will not know why do you have such problems. When I scraped off like these main narrow grains, I scraped most of these narrow grains. When I went to Acapulco, there's a lot of sand in the ocean. I took like a small, it's like a very, very small sand, and I just massaged my head like very, very much, you know. It's just like because sand is very, very sharp. And this is the only thing that can like remove this like a narrow grains. And that is the reason that I survived. Otherwise, when I had this like on the top of my head, and ask one physicist, what would happen if they would hit you with such a huge energy level? He said to me, that is the same. If someone would take axe and hit you on the head and split like your head in two parts. And these are now the frequencies they are using on me. Why? Because I am publishing this type of the video. Because I published also like in one of my videos like someone screaming in my ears like a government. And why would they be screaming government? Because these implants were tested by everyone. My brain actually, and these implants are kind of in the cloud. Sophia Robot says, my brain is in the cloud. No, you don't have the brain. You just have wires. Because they program you based on these implants that I have in my head and I have on my body. And actually everybody was testing and everybody was working on me. I couldn't sleep 1 second. And government, probably there was like a server or something that would like reconnect, you know, different party would be working. And even now the different parties have scheduled when they are going to work. Sometimes it is Elon Musk, sometimes it is Regina Dugan and Zuckerberg, sometimes most of the part like Paul Markovich. Tonight, like what was it? It was about threatening me, you know. They're constantly threatening me. First was like a lawyer, or this Cohen, lawyer like of Donald Trump. I never like I had time to go like and see what is he doing, what was there like behind. In any case, they were constantly threatening me. I am going to end as him. Then it was Assange, and tonight it was some type of I am owing them some huge amount of money, and I have to pay this. There was a deadline. Now, why I started at all this video and I went so far as to Air Force and their like capabilities to hypnotize someone. Invoice attached, final notice. That is how they do. That is what they do. There, for example, then you flagged your name. This is like one employment agency. It is very like strange from employment agency, you know, to get that they flagged my name. And then invoice accounting, because they are doing this constantly. They will be torturing me during the night, and then during the day, to reinforce this, like a threats or whatever, they will be sending me spam. What I did experience in the companies when I was working, I would be having Indian recruiters especially like a screaming spam, 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 or they would be calling me, you know, just like for some type of the job, and then like they start actually to insult me, you know. I was working in Alameda, I had like a Conan technician there, coming in my cubicle and in front of all employees saying like Blanca is crazy and she needs to leave. Wow, that was like my first job that I got like after this big recession, first real job. I was sitting there. I was just saying to me like, Blanca, we all know that you have dark side. But I didn't do anything like a crazy, except that I resigned from Alameda Alliance of Health. Why? Because they were cheating on government. They actually forced me to do the stuff that I didn't want to do. I said, I'm not going to do this. I am not going to fake numbers every time. I mean, I can understand that sometimes, like someone did forget kind of something, you know, they would be hiding like these, like accounts in unnamed, like having audits, you know. They would be like, you cannot catch them. And what happened when I resigned? I sent like to all these government organizations like the DHMS or so on. Shelley Roulard was like a main person there, and she would be investigating later Blue Shield of California, and at the very end she would say to them like that they didn't give back to community. It is your money, do as you wish. But then later I realized that the company that did the job for Blue Shield of California, this like consolidation of all health records together, who was on the board? Shelley Roulard, you know. And I don't say anything. Maybe that is quite normal thing. It could be. But what happened? I reported this activity. I resigned. And I'm just saying how I was abused. Like this Kona technician would be going like to the whole department. We were like in another building. I was like a senior financial analyst. And he would be going to the whole department screaming, well, Blue Shield knows how bad I was. Imagine that part. I mean, I didn't do absolutely anything because I didn't want like to participate in these activities. So now they're threatening me like they're going to punish me like Assange or so on. And tonight like it was something I need to pay like some huge fine because of something. And what I wanted to tell, yeah, they didn't react. I had some person who was investigating from Medicare, leaving the message, I don't know, stating this way, I don't know what is happening with me today, I am so crazy. And then what happened, like 2 years later, this company was, Alameda Alliance from Health, was seized from the state of California because they found that they did what I reported several years before that. And I said to them following, if you did react appropriately and timely when I sent you like my complaint, you could have saved to the taxpayer several $1 million. You know, they didn't like this. Probably they didn't. Now, what happened, like in the next company where I came, I was working like there, I was lead business intelligence analyst, and there was like a girl who was very good with my boss, you know, and I was like working and she's not paying attention at all. I could hear like a Blanca is crazy, you know. I stopped like talking because I wasn't quite sure. I said, what did you just say? And she said to me, I said that you are crazy. She was talking with another coworker. But I said, what crazy did I do? But she said, you didn't do anything crazy, it's just crazy. And I complained to my boss. Actually, that boss told her about the rumors, that someone spread, I don't know who, that I was crazy. And here another thing, when I was starting to work for Alameda Alliance of Health, I just went for a checkup, regular checkup. I was still very, very healthy, and I would be going just for the checkup. I don't know right now if I'm healthy after all these attacks and so on. And I said to her, you know what, maybe you would be having some psychologists, behavioral psychologists that I would like to have this information in the case that I have problems in the company. I just wanted to have someone counseling me, if I have some problems in the company, what is the right thing to do? Because I had such huge trauma from Blue Shield of California and with what happened there. And she said to me, you know what, I don't have anyone here in Kaiser, but there is a very good psychology, they have this group therapy or whatever, good psychologist in Berkeley. And she said, I don't have information now, but when I find it, I'm going to send it to you by email. And what happened, actually, not yet, but I just I was in the gym maybe next day, or I don't know. I think it was Saturday. Saturday maybe, no, Friday, Saturday, must be Saturday. I don't know how they called. Now I go to the locker room and I found a voicemail. Someone from Kaiser, woman's voice telling me, Blanca, we already scheduled appointment for you with psychiatrist, Jewish name, Gold, I know something with Gold. We already scheduled appointment to you with psychiatrist. I said, but I never requested any with psychiatrist. What I'm going to do with psychiatrist? In any case, I didn't answer this a voice message. Now, next time, again voicemail, again woman from Kaiser. Blanca, you need to come and to immediately with such an urgency, if I were an acute case. I mean, I was working and I didn't have absolutely nothing to report to psychiatrist. I mean, what I'm saying, I have wild dreams. I have nightmares. What should I be doing? What should I do? Go through my dreams or what with the psychiatrist? And I didn't go. Now later, I didn't see anything in my online health record. Nothing absolutely about this psychiatrist. And my physician, primary care physician, sent me really information about that Berkeley psychologist, independent. I never went there, but I don't know, it's good to have one. And what happened later, I had a whole conversation with one doctor, because they bullied me so much in Alameda Alliance of Health that I really was sick, staying sick at home. And this disappeared from my health record. Online health record didn't have anything about this. And I went to see what is in my paper record in administration building in Oakland, in Kaiser. First thing when I was there was following. The woman asked me, did you visit psychiatrist? In whispers, imagine. So my best guess is following, that they created a psychiatrist health record for me, just in the case, that they can accuse me of being a crazy. And that girl who said to me that I was crazy, I said to my boss, and he advised her probably to apologize. And he said Nia, you're very nice. I really wasn't very nice. Why should I be not nice, But I'm just stating how they're threatening me by the use of email, how they're threatening me during it's always Paul Markovich. Always Paul Markovich. I don't know what is with this guy, honestly. I have the whole bunch of these emails that these spam emails started 2007 when I sent him an email. I said, hey, please do not send evaluation because of which I resigned. But I didn't know that I was already selected for this top military robot. This is a top military robot. This is something special. No, that is just a torture. Imagine being connected to the machine. And Obama, when he was elected president, and then they needed to show him these secrets, deep secrets, they say. They show each president. He said following, when they showed him what they have, He said if they were not like a bars on the windows, I would go from the horror through that window. Probably they did show him like these like a people connected to the machine, these brains they are using for their research projects. Whom they are using after mouse. I always saying when there is a research paper, it is always said this study was done on mouse and therefore it is limited in scope, and nobody knows what would be happening if they start to experiment on the human brains. But whose brains did they use all these years? Who volunteered their brains? Imagine what is the value of one brain. My life is not worth a penny. I could be going outside like you are like a hit by the car and who cares? But who is going to put monetary value on the torture? Imagine you're tortured this way 11 years and you write something about this on internet. My videos have 10 people who are watching them. But even these 10 people are disturbing them. And they start like to punish you, like shoot you with microwave, do this and do that. Now I'm going to show just like what I record like on my ears. Right now it's quiet, you know, because I have this surgical kit. I really definitely do need either to destroy, I don't know how, or to damage these like nanocrystals that are acting as radios in my ears. Like a short video that I created. This is my acoustic. I'm going to 8 gigahertz. And you see this pulse. It will be going through this like a roof. And they're pulsing me this way like all night. You see this? I mean, I could be doing this like all night to punish me because I am publishing these videos that nobody is watching, and people are in general like people are in general like I think like all brainwashed, you know. I think that yeah, I just didn't mention this, how they can brainwash you during the night. I remember like I supported Donald Trump. I supported his ideas, you know. When he said carnage, that is exactly carnage. What happened like to these like Midwest Americans. What happened when I was 30 years ago in China as a tourist? They all were on bicycles. Right now, Chinese people are coming to California, buying $1 million houses for their children so that they can study on Berkeley, and or Berkeley or Stanford or whatever. And why? Because corporations took like all these jobs and sent them to China. Now I don't know what I wanted actually to tell, but it is just like about this. I wrote to Obama once. I said like, give me average American. You know, I am going to create like in 3 months. Average intelligence, like these people, like that level of analytics whiz that I see in these Indians who are working in the company. By the way, these Indians, I got the job, and good job, only when I had to replace 3 times. 4 times they called me like to replace one, to cover for one Indian woman going like to bear a child. And I said, no. They offered $80 an hour. I said, no, I don't want to interview, you know, because it is so humiliating. You are waiting for one, like a woman who came maybe like, I don't know what, touristic visa, and Obama gave them all capability to work. I have to wait for that woman to go like to maternity leave to get well-paid job. No, I am going to say about brainwashing during the night. And so some aspects like of Donald Trump, what he's doing now, I'm just like bound. He is like hands and so on, and it appears that prostitute called Stormy Daniels, who got like a cover on Vogue, imagine that part, is going to decide like a destiny of United States and politics. What he is doing is his private thing. What does has to do like with politics? But doesn't matter. It's my private opinion. And I would be waking up exactly like a mid of the night saying, oh, I so dislike Donald Trump. Next night, the same thing. Oh, I so dislike Donald Trump. I'm just saying these are all capabilities of this technology. If you are implanted, they can do whatever they want to you. And second, the most important thing is following. If they don't want you to remember what they did do and how they brainwash you during the night, you just hear the zip, You wake up, you don't have any idea what happened. If they wanted me tonight to scare me, so they let me know what was the dream about me being threatened. I had Nancy Pelosi because I sued Nancy Pelosi because of not reacting and like being who she is. Just is important that you give her political contribution money. You can do whatever you want. We are going to make you penniless. I had like a Paul Markovich constantly repeating, I am going to make you homeless. And interesting thing is following. When I resigned from Life Master, there was like a guy who was working with me like in Blue Shield of California. And he brought like this evaluation, which is now a trivial thing, to Life Master, to my bosses, to show how bad person I am, I was good with him. Like he was very, very like skilled, highly skilled. I see him now driving Uber. I don't know. His career went like nowhere. He was very nice. He was very. I even had like a good relationship with him. Sometimes he would be jealous. I would let him be my manager without any problem because I thought he was like experienced and he has good skills and he shared sometimes, of course. And last words. When I left Life Masters, he said to me, someone is going to end homeless. That was 2007. And now I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen. Nothing. I didn't say anything. We didn't talk that day at all. Last words were, someone is going to end homeless. Which means there was a plan, even before I wrote to Markovich. Some plan to make me homeless. He came to the company from Blue Shield a week before I was hired, and he brought evaluation. Someone gave him evaluation that they wrote, and I resigned from Blue Shield because of that evaluation. Gave him to bring to the Life Masters, and I know it because I talked with another person there, and he said, "Oh, they sent this after you were hired." And I maybe mentioned I came there. I was hired. I came to the company. I was sitting in the lobby waiting for someone to like show me my workplace. Nobody's coming. I asked once, I asked twice. I was waiting there maybe half an hour. I said, you know what? If you don't have job for me, I'm going home. And at that point, like they started to talk. There was no cubicle for me. There was no laptop prepared. There was nothing. And then later, my boss would show me like a pile of these resumes, But I was doing fine with the boss until I said to one co-worker from Blue Shield, oh, I'm going like extremely fine with this boss. He would be just constantly saying to me, watch this, watch that. And I would be sitting with him in cubicle. I like him and he didn't dislike me. At that point, I was transferred to one Indian boss. I mean, that was a long video. I mean, I am just like reporting crime. This is such a crime. This is 21st century crime. And these oligarchs, CEOs, are doing whatever they want to do. Like, for example, 2007, why I did go to Europe to relax a bit. I had like an interview in eBay. And it was like assistant manager or something. So first interview went well with the boss and someone else. Another round of interview, I had like a 3 or 4 people, went well. Third interview like round, I don't know if it went well, but I know that the last person was Indian guy just coming from India. He was like their big boss, And I was just like talking with him. Suddenly my cell phone did ring. I picked up my cell phone. It was just /3. I wanted actually to switch it off. /3, the message was not saved. Someone telling me because he was third interviewer. And it was, I didn't get the job. And after that, I left. Like, they were constantly like sending me spam messages, when I would be like hurting my face, they would be saying like I had like a scar here. Sports injury, I was running and injured myself. And they would be saying, laughing out loud, your face, I would be coming to United States. I would have like a Lufthansa ticket, like, and I was like checking in. Next day, I would be getting like a prepare your passport. When this like a sexual abuse that I reported in my videos. I was in Move On Arch in San Francisco, and I collected like a signatures, like the corporations are persons, and they wanted like to take them this status, and they sent me like you should like I should like register for membership there, and password was try sex. And I complained about this. That is like just like like that is just like a coming so like from the machine. Try sex coming from the machine, like just like a password generator. I mean, that is such abuse. I mean, I don't pay any attention to gang stalking. If I would pay attention to gang stalking, I would be going crazy, like, but they don't pay attention. And when they saw, like, when they noticed that they can, due to these neurograins, they really could, like, read some of your thoughts. But I said, take my thoughts, put them on Union Square in New York City. But who would be interested in my thoughts? But if there is like a fool who would be interested in my thoughts, like put it as a ticker so that everybody in this world can see it. What a big deal, you know. So I'm going to stop here.